Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of And Now You Know with Betty and Julz. I'm Betty.
And I'm Julz.
And today we're going to be talking about this really powerful yet really scary prayer that we have worked into our lives. We've been doing this for a really long time now. But we're bringing it up because we have seen it in a lot of situations that have been coming up recently.
Lots.
And so we thought we should really talk about that. Because not only is it great for us, but it's also great for you if you choose to add it into your life. So kick things off.
So we're talking about the prayer of surrender. And we need to define what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not coming from a place of weakness or lack of hope or giving up. It's coming from a place of you being able to find peace, love, joy, acceptance of things that you may have thought were going to be the best thing for you. But if you surrender them to God in your prayers, then help me define that feeling of a true understanding of your purpose in life.
So I will say it in a couple different ways. 'Cause I have seen this on different posts that have come up. And I think they all basically say the same thing. But one of them is be so confident in God's plan that you're not at all upset when things don't go your way.
No, you actually really feel them as a blessing. I just had a situation last week, and I didn't have my own clarity, but I certainly got it by the end of the week. And I knew without hesitation what the right decision was because of the feeling inside of my gut. And I think, didn't I send you a post that was talking about if you feel it in your heart, if you feel it in your gut?
You did, but I forgot what it said.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay, see if you can find it. Okay, the other one that I was going to say is that, sometimes things don't go your way because you actually deserve more. That's another post that I have seen that I believe if you come from a place of a belief that everything always works out for you and that whatever is meant for you will never miss you. If you come from that perspective, then that prayer is exactly what you want to lean on whenever there's a situation that comes up that, you have to make a decision. Maybe you're not sure at that moment, like, which way should I go? Should I do this or should I do that? I will always go back to that prayer because I've actually learned it the hard way. I have learned that when I tried to force things, when I did things out of impulse without thinking it through, without using my foresight, without asking for a little bit of guidance, when I have done that, that is when I have led myself to the most destructive, ridiculous, painful situations. And it is because I didn't pause. I didn't get clarity. I didn't listen to my gut. This is similar to talking about, we had an episode in the past where we talked about, when you get married, you said I do, and then
all of a sudden you don't.
And then you don't anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing where before you get married, take a moment and actually pay attention to how you feel, to what do you want? What is the outcome? What are you looking for? Does that person match your beliefs, match your values, match the same path that you're trying to get to? It's kind of the same thing. It all works out to be the same, except for the fact that some people won't pray the prayer.
Right.
Because it's actually, you have to be so, throw it all out there. You have to surrender. You have to accept whatever happens. So I'll give you an example.
Yep.
This has happened to me without fail. So if I'm in a situation where I need some clarity, normally this might be either in, if a job situation comes up, which has happened before, and I prayed the prayer. It has also happened to me in dating situations. And I have always prayed the prayer. And
you have completely surrendered in that lane.
I have completely surrendered in that lane. And I always say it to Julz that if there is somebody that I feel like I'm becoming interested in, I pray the prayer.
Immediately.
And I specifically say, If it is from you, I'm talking to God. If it is from you, bring it closer and make it more clear. If it is not from you, remove it immediately, however you see fit.
Yep.
Now, what's so crazy about that is that you could feel like you have this connection. You could feel like things are going to work out. We're having a good time. I really like this person.
Yep.
We have this great vibe. It could feel like that. And then all of a sudden,
Boom.
all of a sudden, what once felt like it was great until it wasn't.
Yep.
And I will go back every single time. I am bummed for a moment. I am bummed.
It's disappointing.
It is. It's disappointing.
It's like you were hopeful, and I'm going to go back. You were in love with the idea of it.
Yep.
But then the truth starts revealing itself, and
Yep.
then the prayer is sent up above, and then the door gets shut.
And then the door gets shut. But you know what? But you asked for it.
You
You
did.
asked for clarity. You asked for direction. And here's the truth of it all. If it is not for me, I don't want it blocking my blessing for what it really is for me.
Right.
And whether that's a job or a person or whatever, it doesn't even matter whatever it is. For me, I don't want the instant gratification. Been there, done that. I have created so many issues in my life in
Big
the past.
messes.
Yeah. I don't need any of that. I'm okay with delayed gratification. I'm okay with thinking things through. I'm okay with waiting for, if it takes longer, but it's better, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If it's better for me, a better fit, better overall outcome. And for me, when we're talking about these decisions, whether it is, we were talking about whether it is about a company offering you a job, or maybe it's about, this is an interesting season. Julz and I were just talking about this. We were sitting on the therapy couch and we were having this conversation. I feel like I'm in a season of reevaluating relationships, and we have talked about this before, but here we are. And I feel like I was always, when I was younger, I was always a social butterfly. I've always been really good at collecting friends.
Yeah.
Like I keep.
You put a lot of energy into it.
Yes,
too.
and I'm a really good friend.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yep.
good friend. I stay connected to people. I reach out to people. I check on them. I invite them to lunch or dinner or coffee. People pop into my mind and I'm like, hey, I was just thinking about you.
Yeah.
Or talking to them on social media when I see their stuff come up. I constantly want to engage with people that I care about. I constantly, even people that I haven't physically seen in over a decade, we're having chat conversations.
Yeah, but it's so cool because a lot of times you can pick up the phone and you start talking to those people and you literally pick up. It's like there's been no time.
Exactly.
That's gone by.
Well, this is the benefit of social media and the benefit of all the technology, because I could have a FaceTime with somebody. I could have a Zoom with somebody. And I love that. I much more prefer a Zoom or a FaceTime over a text conversation.
Yeah, I don't
I'm not
want
interested.
text.
I don't want a text conversation. And I mean, I'm okay with a phone call, but
I'm more like a phone call girl.
Yeah, I'm an eyeball to eyeball kind of person. I
I've
actually
got
want
a
to
friend
see
who,
people.
anytime she calls me, it's always FaceTime.
Yeah,
And sometimes
yeah.
I'll text and say, I'm naked. I can't FaceTime
Yeah,
right now.
my sister FaceTimes. My sister lives a mile away, and I see her really just about every day, at least 5 times a week, and we literally FaceTime.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
will. Even if we're in bed and she wants to call to tell me something, we FaceTime.
That's funny.
Like
you can
every
do
time.
that with your sister.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But back to the whole reevaluation. I have some people in my life right now. And I'm not talking about romantic interest. I'm talking about relationships that I have had. Friendships.
Yep.
Friendships that I have had for many, many years, where I feel like something feels like we're moving into a different season, and I'm having to reevaluate, it's uncomfortable and it's disappointing, but at the
hurts.
same time, we've talked about this before. When you realize that a friendship only exists because you're the only one carrying it, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore.
And it's so weird because you're at the age that I was when my list of friends dropped from like 100 to 3.
Yeah.
And it was because of the reciprocation on both sides.
Yeah.
And I found that they were just really kind of a distraction of me not being able to spend the time that I needed to on myself to go through that healing process, and it was a distraction.
Yep.
You've got to pay attention to that, because a lot of times you want to fix everyone else, and it's because that way you don't have to look in the mirror at yourself.
Yep.
And it's critical. If you want to live a full 100% showing up life, you've got to get to know yourself.
Yep,
And you've got to love yourself. It's like that post that you posted on Valentine's Day about be sure that you're loving the one who has spent the most time with you, yourself.
Yep. The one who was with you through it all.
Yeah, yourself.
That would be you. Yep.
And then that way you can show up for the people who deserve you.
Yep.
Who are giving you back, who are reciprocating.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you're the one that's constantly pouring into people, if you're the one that's constantly giving your light and your energy and all of that, and really you just end up thinking like, what are we doing here?
Right.
What is the, I want life-giving relationships. I want the energy exchange. I always talk about this, like, we're givers.
Yeah,
we're givers. And the worst thing we can do is be attached to takers. That's the worst thing we can do.
And that tends to be who
is attracted.
In a previous life. Well, they are attracted to you because they typically need strong, confident people to plug into, because that's where they get they suck your creamy goodness out of you.
Right.
And they really, really do. And you can become so depleted that you have nothing good to give anybody anymore.
And that's not just in a romantic relationship.
Oh.
That happens in regular relationships too. And it's interesting. You also have to be careful. This is about boundaries, right? So we're getting off the topic just a second. However, we will go back in just a second.
But you can pray that prayer of surrender over this.
Yes, because I also think that this could impact your family. And it doesn't mean that you get rid of your family. You want to have healthy, loving, supportive, amazing relationships with your family. But when you pray the prayer, it's really a prayer of clarity. Yeah. It's really a prayer of, help me, guide me in this decision so that I can really be the best person for myself and for everybody around me. Because me personally, I feel like it is like my life's purpose to create awesome experiences for myself and for the people around me. And I'm a person who I want to see everybody win. We always talk about that. I want to see everybody win. I just posted this the other day where I was saying, I'm the girl who reminds you to dream bigger.
Yeah.
I'm the girl who is rooting for you on the sidelines. I'm the girl who will pause even when I'm in the middle of doing whatever I'm doing to make sure that you know how proud I am of you,
right?
Of what you're doing. And Julz is writing books, and Julz has all these great things that she's doing. And those things are really important, not only for her, but also I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're living your best life. You're doing the thing. You're chasing your passion. I'm all about follow your bliss. Follow your bliss.
We all have something inside of us that is God's will for us.
Yeah.
And if it lights you up, like writing these children's books, I just published my first one, and I'm about to publish my second one, and then I've got a third one that I just need to do some adjustment on illustrations. But I can start working on those, and before I know it, 10 hours has passed.
Right.
And it's just, when you find that zone, then you know that you are doing what you were designed to do.
Yep.
And you've got to protect it. I mean, I was in a situation that was very tempting until it wasn't. And part of the problem with it is that it was going to take so much time that I wouldn't be able to focus on my purpose. And so I prayed the prayer of surrender and before I went on a second meeting. And when I was walking down the hall, I got this feeling, kind of like the bride walking down the aisle, and you get a feeling, and it's like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
That was, you've got to listen to that.
You have to.
Even if you're not offering up the prayer of surrender, that's just a gift from your Creator that is put inside of you, and you're going to have it anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to have a feeling. And when you ignore that, that's when you end up getting into a situation that's going to end anyway. So you might as well not even start it, because the prayer of surrender just helps you get there faster.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if you truly do lay it down and just, my prayer is just like, either keep this door open or close it. I want your will for my life, and I trust you completely. He is my provider.
Yeah. Yeah. And really, when it comes down to it, yes, it's about trust. Yes, it's about listening to yourself. Yes, it's about finding the thing, right? The guidance.
Yep.
And yes, it's about all of those things. But really, what it's about is you accepting and allowing that you're worthy for more.
Yes.
And why would you keep yourself small and trapped in something that really isn't the best thing for you? So if you really, I mean, the prayer is a scary thing because it always gets answered. And sometimes you're like, crap, that's not what I was going for. But at the same time, I accept the fact that I always say this: when the door is shut, when it becomes very clear that that ain't it, I immediately say, thank you, because I know better is on its way. Thank you, because I know that this was really ended up either being a distraction or being the thing before the one.
Yep.
You know, whatever it is. A lot of times we talked about this too. A lot of times I feel like sometimes maybe there's a test, or maybe sometimes it's a test on whether or not you're going to say yes or no in terms of
you thought what I went through last week was a test.
I thought it was a test. And I think part of it is about the patience, your patience, and also your focus, because we have talked a lot about what we want for ourselves, what we want for our lives, what we want to accomplish, the things that are on our path right now. And the other question that I constantly ask is this thing, whether it's a thing, a project, a person, a whatever, is it bringing me closer to what it is that I'm trying to accomplish and who I want to be?
Well, and
is
Bette,
it bringing me closer, or is it pulling me further away?
And you said something that gave me so much clarity last week too, when I was trying to make this decision on this situation that I was in. She said, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no.
Yep.
And it wasn't. It was lukewarm. And there is a scripture in the Bible that talks about being either hot or cold, but don't be lukewarm.
Yep.
Have you ever grabbed a cup of coffee that's been sitting there for
Gross.
30 minutes?
Yeah, or soup.
It's not cold. I either want iced coffee or I want hot coffee, but I don't want a cup of coffee. I mean, I immediately get up and go run to the microwave to warm it back up.
Yeah.
You don't want to be lukewarm about anything.
No, what lukewarm makes me think of is mediocrity.
Mealy,
yes,
non-committal. I'm
non-committal.
Kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Okay, let me tell you, here's another quote that I saw on social media that I absolutely love. And it's talking about, you haven't gone through all the things that we've been through in life. And especially when you don't know when your time is up. So
Right.
the fact
It could
that
be
you
today.
woke up the fact that you woke up this morning, the fact that you have an opportunity, it's like, did you wake up to be mediocre?
No.
Is that what you want? I don't want that.
You need to wake up with instant gratitude that God filled your lungs
And
with
I do.
air.
And I
Yes.
do. And every morning I always wake up and I say, I'm grateful. Thank you. I trust. I'm
Yep.
looking for guidance. And I always say, I believe that something wonderful is going to happen for me today, because
Absolutely.
everything always works out for me the way that it's supposed to, and better than I could have imagined.
Our minds, your sister posted something too that was, and I can't remember what it was, but she was talking about the mind shift. If you get up and you say, well, I'm sure going to try to do this, versus I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Just that mind shift alone has everything to do with how something's going to turn out. I was going to read just a little blurb here about what the surrender prayer is. Surrender is trust, release, obedience, letting go of fear, and believing God is good even when life is hard. You've got to believe in what you can't see.
Yeah.
You don't want. It says don't believe in the things that you see or hear. And there's a lot of chatter in the world right now.
Yep.
And we can see things that are going on. But there is a much higher resource that's in control.
Yep.
And then what surrendering is not. It's not giving up. It's not being passive. It's not losing hope. It's not weakness. It's actually spiritual strength.
And I'm going to say something really quick for those of you that don't confuse, this. We call it a prayer. It is a prayer.
It is.
And we talk to God. We do.
We talk to God.
But this doesn't have, don't call it God if you don't want to. You can call it the universe. You can call it your gut instinct, your intuition, whatever. Yeah. The point is for you to be pausing. And I think that it's a hell yes or it's a no.
Boy, that hit me.
If you just say that and you just base it on how you feel when you stop and you're still and you just close your eyes for a moment, clear your mind, and only think about that thing that you're trying to make a decision about, and only think about how it feels in your body. If you have, look, people have everybody has different beliefs, and we're totally open to whatever. Do you. Yeah. We don't care what you believe in. But what we're saying is this really can apply to everybody if you just,
get real with yourself.
Yes. And I myself am not super religious, but I am absolutely spiritual. Yeah. And I believe in God, and I believe in guidance, and I believe in the higher power.
There's a big difference between religion and Christianity.
Absolutely.
And faith and all of that. I think that there's a bunch of rules and regulations and religion and, people get other people's behavior mixed up with what Jesus and the truth is. And hypocrisy is not Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus was a radical lover of people.
Exactly.
And the more broken that you were, the more he wanted to love you.
Yes. So this is not at all a religious episode for you to go to church and pray about it. We're not trying to say any of that.
If you want to, go do it.
If you want to, sure. Of course. If you already belong to a church, go do that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it is not required for what we're saying.
No.
You can still get the answers. You can still get the guidance. Just be still. Yeah. There's even a scripture about being still.
There is.
Being still and know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And know that I am God.
That's
and
right.
I don't know where it's found in the Bible, but I do know that. I do know that scripture. I'm also going to say, not to make it super religious or like biblical based, but things like faith over fear, that's real. Faith over fear. Yeah. The other thing that's also, we actually mentioned this in a previous episode, and it was a Martin Luther King Jr. quote, and it was, you don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to take the first step.
That's right.
If you take the first step towards whatever direction you're looking at, and that quote is based on faith. That quote is based on guidance, based on trust, based on surrender and allowing. You have to do that if you're going to throw yourself out there, and you don't know where you're going to end up, but you believe that you're going to end up somewhere better than where you currently are.
Yep. And that's it. I mean, I also want to just make sure that you don't think that we're telling you to be irresponsible,
right? And
saying, well, I'm just going to surrender and, God's going to take care of it. You've got to do your part.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to work for yourself, and, I'm writing these books. Well, I've got to write the books. I've got to publish them. I've got to create them. And then I've got to go out and let people know that I wrote some books. Now, has God given me the resources? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I'm taking full advantage. I'm a musician at heart, and I have been so envious of these contestants that get to be on American Idol. Because, man, if that had been available when I was in that age group, I would have been there every year until I got on that show. And I think it's amazing. But now, at my age, I can't go on American Idol.
Well, hey, maybe this is an opportunity for somebody out there to watch this episode, and maybe it's not American Idol, but there are a lot of other types of talent competitions. And by the way, Star Search is coming back.
Oh,
I did hear.
Cool.
I heard Star Search is coming back.
Search.
Maybe you can do Star Search. No, but there are opportunities because we live in a different world now. And I think that things that were really difficult at one point, I mean, they could still be difficult today, but I think there's more opportunity available today.
It's easier, but it's not. What am I trying to say? It's still hard. Like on these books, I had been looking for an illustrator. I wrote this first book that I just published 10 years ago, and I'd been looking for an illustrator. Well, now all of a sudden, we've got AI. And I cracked my tooth. What do you say? That opened up a door.
Oh, yeah. It unlocked.
Yes, it did. It absolutely unlocked. And so I got busy on AI and my illustrations in my book turned out exactly the way that I wanted them.
That they were in her head.
They were in my head. So that is something that is given to us. So that's what I mean when you've got to do your part. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect goodness to fall in your lap.
Yeah.
You've got to be proactive, but you've got to listen to your gut and be very clear on if it's a hell yeah or a hell no.
Yeah, there's also a I don't know if it's a quote or if it's a scripture. I think it's a quote or maybe like a story of the guy that was in the water and was praying to God to send.
Yes, it's almost like it's a joke. But
and like
he's out
praying
on a boat
to God.
And his boat crashes and he's out floating around.
Yes, like send me help. I'm drowning. Save me. And then a boat comes and says, "Hey, can we help you?" And they're like, "Nope, waiting on God.
Praying
waiting on
for
God."
to save
and then
me.
somebody else comes. "Nope, I'm just waiting. I prayed already, and I'm just waiting." And it's like,
and then a helicopter comes.
Yeah.
And they throw the rope down. They're like, "Get in, man. Get in, man. You're going to drown."
And then I'm pretty sure he drowns.
He drowned.
And then goes to heaven. And then he was like, "Dude,
I was praying and God said, I sent 2 boats and a helicopter."
Yeah.
Open
that
your
story.
eyes.
Yeah. So
that's one of my favorites.
We say all that because, and actually, now that we're talking about all this, there's so much that is coming up for us right now, present day.
Yeah.
That is really making us not necessarily question, but it's making us lean into it more. Yeah. And sometimes you do feel like, because I have felt like this, where I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm always in the surrender mode. I'm always in the, I trust in the divine guidance. And sometimes, even with the surrender, I still have a moment of,
I'm tired of that.
I'm sick of that.
Why can't I win the lottery? I don't want to do this anymore.
So, and then I have to remind myself,
Right.
Okay, the delay or the redirection, I believe the whole redirection is God's protection, right? We've said that before. Mm-hmm. Redirection is God's protection. The delay just means that it's going to be better than I ever anticipated. Yep. And so the delay is not a punishment. This is another quote that actually did come up that I think is awesome. The delay is not punishment, it's actually preparation.
Oh, yeah.
And so that is what I have to remind myself of like, okay. Yeah. And you know what? And I'm still grateful and I'm super excited. And I'm here for it to unfold as it's supposed to
unfold
because I believe
Yep.
that everything always works out in my favor.
Yep.
And everything that's meant for me, I will never miss it. It will never miss me.
It's like that picture, and we've talked about this before, but there's a little girl and she's holding a little tiny teddy bear.
Oh yeah,
and she's standing in front of Jesus, and he's asking her to give him that teddy bear because he's holding a teddy bear behind his back that's bigger than he is. So I can assure you that our Creator, whoever you believe in, has much bigger and better plans for you than you've ever imagined if you'll just give it to him.
Yeah, it's not going to be a smaller and more raggedy teddy bear.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's going to be bigger and more amazing. And, as we're talking about all this, if you have been following us, because we're now at the 1 year mark now with this podcast, and we are super grateful to be able to be doing what we're doing, and we're having so much fun, and we have all these ideas, and we have more to come, more phases. And, some of these topics, it's so funny how they come up in our lives for us to share them, but it's because we're living it. And I know that in past episodes, you may have heard some of this before, or you may have, some of the examples as far as like the faith over fear and the surrender. We talk about that all the time because it is an ongoing practice. It's not a one-time deal.
Every single day.
This episode is a reminder. If you have heard us talk about this before, I think we had an episode way back, probably in like the single digits, where we were talking about surrender. Yeah. And here we are a year later still talking about surrender. Yeah. Because it's a thing. It's a thing.
It's an everyday practice. You've got to get used to it. It's a form of meditation. Yep. It's calming. it just levels you up.
Yep. And I want to live my best life.
Me too.
I want to become the best version of myself. I want the best experiences for myself, for my children, for my family and friends around me. Yeah. I don't want a small life. I don't want a life. My biggest fear in life, that this is like, a lot of times you're scared to do something. And so people pause and hesitate. The thing that I'm scared of the most is not meeting my fullest potential.
Yeah.
That's the thing that, like, when I come to the end of my life, I don't want to sit around wondering what more could I have done? What was I really supposed to accomplish? Like, I don't want to think about all the things I missed out on because I sat around, because I was fearful and, stayed in my comfort zone and, got into the fetal position. I don't want to do any of that.
No.
I would rather do it scared.
I don't think me and you are capable of
Oh, no.
doing that.
No, I can't do it.
I have never been able to do that. I don't settle.
Yeah, no, there is no chance.
There are just so many situations that I've been in that I would rather live under a bridge than to continue living that life. I would rather go work. We always say Buc-ee's, but Buc-ee's is a really awesome place, and so it's not a put down. But I would rather go work at Buc-ee's.
And if you're currently a Buc-ee's manager or executive, get in touch with us because you can sponsor us because we keep talking about Buc-ee's.
We do
talk
about
Buc-ee's. And we bring everybody to Buc-ee's when they visit Texas.
Especially the one by my house because it's got a car wash that's like an amusement park ride.
Okay, enough about Buc-ee's.
My point is that working at Buc-ee's would give me the freedom to continue doing what I believe is my purpose in this life. And Bette discovered something interesting about my life too, because the first time I wrote a song, I was 16, and now I'm 61, and I just got my first book published. So the number reversal is super awesome. Just go after it. Go for it. Go for it. Don't be irresponsible, but surrender. I'm telling you, it's kind of an indescribable feeling.
And
it really is.
And we have heard everybody, I mean, I have heard this a million times, that your life, your growth, your best life really begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So you have to get comfortable with being super uncomfortable. Yeah. You have to be okay with throwing yourself out there. And if you fall flat on your face, who cares? Okay, well, pick yourself up and go do it again, or go do whatever. Yeah. Make adjustments. There's another quote, and actually, I'm gonna be posting this one soon on social media. I don't have my phone with me, so now I can't read it. But it basically says being prepared is really a myth. It's a lie, because what you have to do is you have to get started, and you're gonna suck, and you're gonna maybe flop, and maybe you're gonna have a couple bumps in the road, but you're gonna get up, and you're gonna make adjustments, and you're gonna keep going, and you're gonna get better, and then you're gonna be so proud that you did all those things.
Yep.
So you can't wait. You can't wait to feel like everything is perfect and ready. That's a lie.
It never is going to be.
It never is going to be. It never is going to be. Yeah. Now let me tell you the when it comes to what we're talking about, the prayer and all of that, there's a way to do it where when I was younger, I feel like I was irresponsible. Oh, I was a little bit more. I didn't think things through, and so because I didn't plan properly. Like, you can pray the prayer, be in surrender, follow the path. You can do all of those things and still do it responsibly for yourself, for your family, for the people that you care for the responsibilities that you need to take care of for your life. Those are the things where when I was younger, I just didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan in place, and so I would just, what's the word? Impulsively. I would impulsively do things. And then I would put myself in a pickle, which if you have a plan and you really think things through, you won't put yourself in a position to have to go through that.
I put myself in a lot of pickles.
Yeah.
Even when I knew that I shouldn't do it, I did it anyway. And anyway, it has given me a lot of character.
Yeah.
And a lot of strength.
And a lot of wisdom.
And a lot of faith.
That we're sharing.
Yes.
So again, as we always like to say, we're not doctors, we're not therapists, we're not whatever, all of the list of disclaimers that we're supposed to say. But what we are two girls that have been through, two women. We've been through a lot of things, some very messy, some very painful, some
left wakes of destruction behind them.
Some did. And, and at the same time, you take that mess, you turn it into a positive message, and all you do is that you hope and pray that it will become a positive impact, influence, encouragement, motivation, whatever it is for at least one person.
Throw something good out into the world.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do.
Because if you can do that for one person, that one person will do it for somebody else, and that somebody else will do it for somebody else, and then it becomes this whole ripple effect that you don't even realize how many hundreds or thousands or millions of people that you end up affecting just because you decided to make a change that was a positive impact for you. So here we are, throwing ourselves out there. We said this a long time ago. I think we said this on our first episode, that here we are throwing ourselves out there. You know, I don't see it as airing our dirty laundry. I don't see it that way.
No.
I see it as really, really wanting to be encouragers and a source of inspiration for people either on the path that we were on or before getting into that path, where you then have an opportunity to make a different decision and completely change the trajectory of your life.
You spare yourself. And there are some decisions that you make in your life that you can't ever recover from. So that's the importance of this.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep.
So that felt a little heavy, but it's just the truth, and I'm here to speak the truth. So.
Yeah. It really is meant to be positive, though, for you. So anyway, well, thank you all for joining. We have a comment section below, and we always request, if you have comments, if you have feedback, if you have questions, if there are topics that you want us to cover, you can go ahead and put it down below. Yeah. And we also have an email if you want to continue the conversation offline a little bit more anonymously. That is hello@bettyandjulz.com, BETTE.
And I'm JULZ.
And thank you so much for watching. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. And we so appreciate the support that you've been with us. And definitely watch more episodes if you haven't. There's tons to watch.
There is.
And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing and tell family and friends about it, and bring more people on the journey with us as well. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.